Hello, my lovelies. So I just wanted to get on and chat about the LifeWave patches for a second. So I've been on these little beauties for 5 weeks now, and what I've noticed in that time is absolutely amazing, to be honest with you. So we got the patches to help Mark as well, and I get FOMO, so I decided I'm going to get them as well. So here's the little packet here. This is what your patches look like. Now, there's nothing in these. I've got a little information link down here, so there's no nasties in these. There's sugars and there's natural minerals and what have you within these patches, and they actually are activated from the light within your body. So we all have light within our body, and you can see that light with night vision, cameras or goggles or what have you, sort of thing. So that's what actually activates your little stem cell patches. So let me tell you the things that I've noticed in the last 5 weeks. Now, it's different for everybody. Sometimes people can start noticing things within about a week, up to a couple of months, and they say to wear them for 3 months to really get the effects of them, right? So what I've noticed so far, first thing, it was 4 weeks in, and I've been getting this lower back pain down here for quite a while. Like, I was a masseuse for 17 years, so I always sort of had that lower back pain, and didn't really go to any masseuses to get them to try and fix it, because there was no masseuses in the area that actually did treatments like myself that I knew could actually fix it and relieve that pain for me, So I would just exercise and, do stretches and bits and pieces to help with it. But there was always that sort of dull ache sort of thing in that lower back region there. So I do have damage in my spine, and I was born like it. I have a crooked spine right at the bottom sort of thing. And I was told by the doctors when I was in my, I think, mid-20s that as I got older, it was going to give me grief. And I'm, whatever, I'll worry about it then. Well, I'm 49 now, and I've been feeling that pain in that lower back for, a good 10 years, I suppose, I'm going to say. But it's gotten really quite unbearable in about the last 3 years, So, I noticed a month in, so about a week and a half ago, that I wasn't getting that lower back pain. Now, I'd been away last fortnight, and I was camping in the tent, and I was on my camp bed, and I was away doing abseiling and rock climbing for 3 days straight, and it was over 30-degree weather as well. So it was pretty hard going, and to get up to where we are going, we're walking up a hill like this with all the gear on and what have you, and I had to do that several times a day, bringing the school groups up, and it usually, even just getting up that hill with all that gear and, trudging along, usually I was puffing and panting when I got to the top. So I'd be doing my breathing exercises, as I was walking up. So I didn't look like I was really unfit, But the first time walking up there on the Tuesday last week, I got to the top and went, actually, I'm feeling pretty good. I didn't even have to stop and suck the breath in sort of thing and just say to the kids, righto, I'm just going to take a break. You just keep going up to the top there. So that was one thing I noticed with that, right? But I then sleeping on the camp bed and, I'm not in my comfy bed, I would usually wake up and feel sore sort of all over, especially after, working with ropes, pulling ropes up and down the cliff face all day long. But I woke up on the Wednesday morning going, body's feeling pretty fresh. Chucked my little patch on that morning and did the same thing all day long that day. So trudged up and down that hill and working on the ropes and what have you. And then also I did the same thing again on Thursday, and I was expecting I was going to be pretty sore. On the Friday, I had a different school at a different place and worked on ropes until about lunchtime, and got home, and usually over that weekend I'd be sitting here on the couch going, oh, Mark, I can't be bothered. I just need to chill. I just need to let my body rest sort of thing. And I wasn't feeling like that. I actually wasn't feeling like that at all, And I said to Mark, I'm pretty surprised that my lower back pain is not giving me any grief, and I'm not feeling utterly exhausted from being away for 4 days doing abseiling and rock climbing for the school groups, But one thing that I always comment to my boss about when we're there is he remembers the kids' names, right? Now, he's actually been wearing these stem cell patches for, I reckon it's either 6 to 12 months. I can't really recall now, but I remember when he started wearing them, he was telling me about that. I'm like, oh yeah, no worries at all. And just didn't think much of it, just, yeah, cool, whatever. but he always remembers the kids' names, right? And I had made mention to him about that several times. Just, geez, mate, you're pretty good. Remember the kids' names. And he said to me, I just put it out to the universe that I'm going to remember the names. Well, I'm a Reiki master. I put a lot of shit out into the universe. And I've even put it out into the universe that I remember the kids' names. But having ADHD, in one ear, out the other. Like, you can actually go, hey, I'm such and such-a, and I'm g'day such and such-a, how are you? Bang, your name is gone a couple of minutes later. And I just call people lovely, or I call them mate, because I friggin' forget names, right? And I noticed on the second day that I was remembering the kids' names. G'day, mate, what's your name? And they tell me their name, and then I'm abseiling them down the hill sort of thing, and I was remembering their names, and even when they were coming back up for their second turn, I could remember the kids' names. And I actually said to Mark, mate, I'm actually remembering the kids' names, and he looked at me and went, oh shit, I am too. Wow, So the stem cell patches, they actually help your stem cells to rejuvenate and to reverse the aging process and to reverse any, damage. So I've been doing a bit of reading about it, and once we hit into 30, we have so many stem cells in our bodies that just aren't working anymore. They just cease to work, as we're getting older and older. And that's what brings on, forgetting things and dementia and all these types of things, And I just said to Mark, shit, I'm noticing that my memory, my short-term memory is getting better. Wow, okay. So, I've noticed that was huge for the both of us. We're walking down the hill that afternoon and we're listing off all the kids' names we could remember. Now, I think we had around about 7, 8 in each group, 6, 7 to 8 kids in each group, right? And between Mark and I, we remembered 9 of those kids' names because we were swapping groups sort of thing, and we're kind of patting ourselves on the back going, wow, we're clever sort of thing. But I'm definitely putting it down to the life wave patches because my short-term memory's never been great, and I just used to put it down to having ADHD and my brain's really busy, but it's really noticeable. I'm just sort of going, wow, okay, the short-term memory thing is good. Now, another thing, and it mightn't seem much to you guys, right, but it was huge for me. I struggle going into the supermarkets. I don't like it, just the energy of the place and the bright lights and people around everywhere, and I just really get anxious and stressed out and just in and out. And I forget a lot of shit that I need to get when I'm in there because I just want to get out as fast as I can, right? So yesterday, I've rocked on into Aldi, and Mark had just told me some of the bits and pieces that we need, So grabbed my little trolley and I'm sort of bouncing along, and I was in pretty good energy, just for no apparent reason. I'd been at pole fitness, so, I was feeling pretty good about myself for, going to pole fitness. I hadn't been for 2 weeks. But as I'm walking around through the supermarket, I wasn't rushing through it, and I didn't feel anxious, and I wasn't feeling, stressed out like I needed to get out of there quickly. And I shit you not, I actually remembered everything. I didn't have a list, but I remembered everything that we needed, And when I got home, I said to Mark, I actually enjoyed shopping today, grocery shopping, which I usually send him in to do it because it's too much for me. I really struggle having to do it. It's probably why I'm thin. No, I'm kidding. But it's just, if I have him with me, or if I had my girls with me when, they were still living with me as teenagers, it wasn't as bad. But going on my own, nah, I hated it. I just really, really struggled with that whole process. But I was kind of chuffed. I just went, I actually really enjoyed just getting our bits and pieces and up to the counter. And there's a really cheery bloke in Aldi in Portland. And yeah, it was just actually an enjoyable process, to the point where when I got home, I said to Mark, I actually enjoyed grocery shopping today. And he swung his head around and went, what? And I went, I know. I just feel like I'm in bubblier energy. I'm feeling more vibrant. I'm just feeling really, really good. And the vitality that's in my body, it's kind of starting to really show now that I've been on these patches for 5 weeks, and there's so many good things for these patches, They say that to be on the Life Wave patches for a month, it has actually repaired 10 years worth of your stem cells, and the longer you're on them, the more things it starts to work on within your system, you know, so your memory and your eyes, and it's, yeah, changes your hair, like your hair gets thicker and the grays start to go away, and you just have a lot more energy. I'm actually sleeping better as well, which that's a huge one for me. Like with just this busy brain, it takes me a while to wind down to actually go to sleep, and then I usually wake up, you know, 6-7 times a night, and I'll be going to the toilet, and that stopped happening. Like I still wake up maybe once or twice, but I can fall straight back to sleep again, and that just has not ever really happened to me since I was a teenager, you know. And just the list goes on and on and on of, when I think about it, just, oh, actually I'm just feeling happier, and oh, the back pain's gone, and gee, it was easier to do all the moves at pole fitness today. Like my body could just do it without too much effort, and I'm recovering quicker, and geez, it's just crazy, you know. So I'm looking forward to the collagen. It builds up all the collagen in your body as well, so it starts to actually reverse the aging process as well, you know. And I'm just kind of blown away by it all, you know. So I just needed to get on here and share, and I'm going to get on regularly and do it, because give it another, you know, 3 weeks now, 2 months of being on these patches, I'm going to notice even more and more things happening, you know. So yeah, I just wanted to share. And I was on Facebook looking today, and there was a lady saying that she's really starting to get stressed and depressed because she's in her mid-60s now, and she's starting to lose her concentration. She's starting to lose thoughts. She's starting to forget a lot of things. And she said that, yeah, people giggle and, dementia's setting in, we'll have to put you into an old folks home. And it's really starting to hurt her feelings, because she's starting to stress about it now, you know. So I reached out to her, and I just sent her a little YouTube video with an elderly lady and her family. They put her on the patches, and they monitored her for a month. And in the first day that she put them on, they asked her a series of questions, you know, what year is it? She could remember the year, and then asked, you know, who's the president? She couldn't remember who the president was. Asked what her kids do for jobs. She couldn't remember what her kids did for work. She couldn't remember when her kids were born, what month they were born in, or her grandkids. She couldn't remember who the president was, sort of thing, you know. And then 3 weeks later, they did another video, and she could remember all of those things except the month that one of her grandchildren was born. She couldn't remember that. And then a week after that, so after being on them for a month, they asked all the same questions again, and she remembered everything. Like every question they asked her, she could answer that, and she wasn't flustered. And she said, you know, they asked her, how are you feeling? And she said, I feel more focused, and I'm not forgetting things, and I can do a lot more things. And this lady was in her 80s, you know. So I reached out to this lady, and I said, look, I'm just going to send you a little video, and I know I can help you. I know I can actually help you. So if it's working on my short-term memory within wearing them for, you know, a few weeks sort of thing, imagine what this can start doing for people that are in those later years, that are forgetting things, and, you know, dementia or what have you might be starting to set in. So anyway, I just, I felt the need to reach out to her, because I know these patches are going to help her. You know, if she wanted to start patching herself, I know that within a month, within 3 months, within 6-12 months, she is really going to notice a difference, because it is reversing the aging process, and yeah, you know, starting those stem cells to grow again and start to fuse again. And it's just kind of amazing, you know. So if you want any information, I've got a little link down here, and you can just press on the link, and there's a heap of information in there about what they are, what's in them, who's made them, how much they are, what they can help with. And then there's also a link in there that you can actually message me or book a call with me even. So yeah, I can actually give you more information and yeah, get you started patching as well. So anyway, lovelies, I just wanted to share that. Have an awesome day. Mwah. See you all.